Hello Internet, I am Xenoun, and welcome to another Let's Play episode on the Terrascape server. It's funny that I should say that because, as you can see, I am not on the server, I'm actually in my test world. So, yeah, we'll get to the server eventually. If you can hear a bit of a whirring, humming noise, that would be the washing machine in the next room. My wife's doing a load of washing, so just, I don't know, ignore it, it should stop soon. But yeah, what I've been working on is an iron farm. My first attempt was over there, and by building that I discovered a few things that needed improving. And then here I've pretty much perfected the design. So I'll jump down. I think the entrance is here. This is like a model of how it's going to actually be in the server, so enter through the nether and stuff. Yeah, as you can see, there's a bunch of iron golems that have collected. It is 11 there according to the entity count. So if I hit this button, something happens here which I think is fairly unique and loud. Yeah, it's... No, one died, he must have already been damaged. Or two maybe? I don't know. But yeah, I think this is fairly unique. I haven't seen it on any other iron golem farm. And that's that these guys survive the lava. So it brings him down to a 3-hit kill if I punch him, and dead. Or a 1-hit kill with a sword. The reason for this is because you can put looting 3 on swords, and if you kill them with looting 3, they should drop more iron. I haven't actually tested that out, but I will before I add the function in survival. So, yeah. Then this other button will simply leave the lava on, so that any that fall down will die, and you can just stand here and AFK and get all their drops. So yeah, it works fairly well. Yeah, I guess I'll explain this section first. I was going to do the other bit, but I can explain here. So if you note, the lava blade only comes out to where that sign is, so iron golems take up a 2x2 area, so this covering half that area will hurt them wherever they are, and you can come in under it, it won't hurt you. So it leaves this other one blank. The water pushes them to the front. The lava being like that isn't to stop drops from burning or anything, because the drops appear at their feet, so it's fine there. The reason for it only coming out halfway is because it's more easy to control it, and that helps a lot with this thing. That's broke. Good thing about creative, I can just do this. Okay. No, it's a different stone. ADD. Not ADD. OCD. Don't have ADD. Ignore that. Yeah, so it's more easy to control it, and you can see how quickly that disappears after it closes. It goes away just about straight away. That's because it's only the very last block. I don't have to wait for 2 blocks to vanish. So yeah, if I come out here, there's an iron golem derping around the top because... Oh, that's still latched. Oops. Hey, why is that latched? Oh, I haven't hit this again. Okay. Yeah, it's got a latch there on this one when they fall down, so that when they're getting hurt, so it's down to like a 1-hit kill, that it doesn't let any more in. And then you just hit the button again to unlatch it. I was going to do some kind of display to tell people that, but you can sort of see it anyway. And you realise eventually when iron golems aren't falling in what's going on, so... Yeah, so if we come down here, you can see all the redstone. It's fairly compact. I built this the first time, and wires and stuff are going everywhere, and then I go, okay, I know exactly what I'm doing now. Tore it all out, rebuilt it a bit more neatly. So this one here comes from the button that does the 1-hit kill mode. So the redstone goes straight here into this T flip-flop. So it turns it on, and what that does is it sends a signal straight up here, first one, which triggers that piston. Yeah, hang on. No, that's triggering the lava. That's odd, I thought it wasn't meant to. No, that's not triggering lava, is it? Yeah, the lava's this one, okay. My pistons are just in weird locations. So this one here is the latch, so if I fly around here, they push out those blocks there. So yeah, that's the latch. So straight away, it goes, sends the first signal up to trigger the latch, and that will stay on as long as this T flip-flop is on. So you hit the button, it stays on, no matter what, then you hit the button again and it'll turn that off. So that's fairly simple when I remember how I did my pistons. Then this other one here enters in through a monostable circuit, so that's this thing here. I've got it on a bit of an extra delay, and that's because if you do the standard little one tick from a monostable circuit, it will not work with an RS NOR latch. It's not long enough, basically. It will send just a pulse around that will travel through all of these, and it won't actually stay on long enough for multiple of them to be on. So I've added an extra 3 ticks. Yeah, 3 ticks. And so then that's just the RS NOR latch that I always use with the delayed reset with this bit here, so it basically acts as like a double length than if that wasn't there. And this is how many repeaters you need to bring an Iron Golem down to one hit kill with my system. So they're all on full delay, so that's 8 here, another 2, so 18. Except for these ones here, so this one's on 2 ticks and this one is on a single tick. If you add an extra tick on that, then they will die. If you reduce it, so that's just 1 tick, then there'll be a 4 hit kill with a punch and 1 hit kill with sword still. So yeah, it's a little weird how that works. But yeah, from that, this outputs into this. So you can see here, this outputs, the redstone is pointing into this block here. And that goes straight up and activates this. Reverses this because it's inverted with the torch tower. So pulls the pistons out, the lava goes out until this all then depowers, and then the pistons go back in. So this other line, this little section here, is the AFK mode button. What that does is it comes down into a T flip-flop and then just sends a signal into the torch tower and inverts that and leaves it off permanently until you hit the button again. And the way this works is because I don't have a repeater pushing in either way here. And so the redstone will only affect this block, it won't affect the one next to it. I think. I can test that by using... I can stick a button here, that'll work. Yeah, so you see, I do that, it powers this block, but because... There's 9 golem in there. But because I'm not using a repeater, it doesn't push power into this bit of dust here. And on the other side, there's nothing there. So, handy trick. I figured it out by basically building this, and then that worked. So, yeah. Always handy to remember that you can do that with redstone or repeaters, but there's slightly different effect with repeaters pushing current. So this here is the spawning area of the operation. So when I built that one, I made some errors, then I went and got this thing called Villager Info Mod. So you can see on the left hand side of the screen, there's a whole section that says Inside Village, ID of the village and all that stuff. It gives me a few stats about the village. So it's telling me that there's currently 47 villages here out of a maximum possible 37, which is just because I've been using spawn eggs. So, but they will breed up to 37 on their own using the doors. And it's also telling me there are 0 golems in this village, but a maximum of 2 can be in it at any time. And then when I come here, you can see it says Inside Golem Spawn Zone. So that goes all the way to the wall, all the way to that wall. Stops here, a block short. And I think it does it over here too, yeah. So anything is, so if I come up here, and I'll show down here because that's, if you go a block higher, it's out of it. If I come here, the wall is, the water ends here. So basically it's just a little, slightly too short, so the source blocks along here and along here aren't in the spawn zone, but the rest of this area is. So basically got the configuration here for the maximum amount of spawns. And yeah, the first one I did over there, I did the rows 24 long each way. I ended up using 2 water source blocks to put them into the middle, and it was only after I got the village info mod that I realized that I was wrong in how I thought the golem spawning worked. Because I read on the wiki that they spawn within a 16 by 16 by 6 high area from the center of the village. And for some reason I interpreted that as a 16 block radius, so I thought they'd spawn 16 blocks out from any direction, but no, it's a 8 blocks out because it's 16 by 16 square. So yeah, that's the spawning area. That's how that works. So the next bit is I've got one villager housing area here, and then another villager housing area over here. Now this is something I've never seen on any iron golem farm, and I'm curious as to why nobody else has done this, because I just noticed I'm missing blocks on that one, but yeah. I don't know why no one else has done this, because the doors in a village, to be a valid door, they don't just require the sunlight thing that I've been doing, and I showed that off before. Those require a village within a certain distance of the door, or villager. I think it needs a villager to have access to the doors or whatever. So if I just have these guys over here, well, it's not even access, it's just within range. So if I have these guys over here, then they can activate doors and make them valid till around here somewhere. So then all the doors I've got in this section won't count, and they won't add to the villager breeding unless you put guys in here. So I'll just fix this, because that's annoying me now. So I haven't really build stuff quickly. Yeah. So that's why I've got these guys here, and then that makes all the doors valid in this entire section. And I don't know why nobody else does that, because, yeah, I'm not sure if the spawning conditions are that clear. I'm not even sure if it's on the wiki, but I read it in a forum post, and this village info mod also confirmed it, so I don't know. It's what I'm using. The house count went up, and so did the villager count when I did that, so yeah. And the next part, I've got 17 doors along here, so I've got an 8 long section, then there's a block through there, and then there's a 9 long section. So the reason I've got it like this is with the block at halfway through it, that leaves 16 doors here and 18 doors here. And this is repeated on every side. So there's 2 sections per side, gives me 8 blocks of doors. And for golems to spawn, you need at least 21 doors, and then after that, you get 1 golem for every 16 villagers. Sorry. And so that means if I have any 2 blocks of doors still intact, that golems can still spawn. And because Terrascape is set to hard mode, when a zombie siege occurs, they will break doors, and there's no way to stop them from spawning. Light levels don't matter. You can't put half slabs under doors, because then the doors won't work. You can't place one. Yeah, there's a golem. And so yeah, the best thing you can do is to section off doors, have redundancy. So I've got well over 21 doors, and I've limited how many they can break at a time. So it'll give me plenty of chance to come repair it if there's been a siege. And the other thing is, with this many doors, as you can see, I can get up to 37 villagers in breeding, which is enough for 2 golems to spawn. So I don't need to use infinite breeding glitch or anything to get up to numbers. I can have 2 golems within this area at any time, and you saw how long that one took to spawn, and then he's just travelled out, so he falls out of the zone fairly quickly. And that's because they have a 1 in 7,000 chance to spawn each tick. So once the criteria are met of 21 doors and at least 16 villages, the golems will spawn according to their 1 in 7,000 chance thing. So yeah, you can increase the cap if you want by using infinite breeding glitch, getting more villages, so you can get like 3 or 4 golems at a time. But 2 is enough if you're worried about them clogging up, like having, say, 2 up here and not allowing a 3rd to spawn. That doesn't really happen. I've seen it once where I had 2 spawn up here, and they both moved and got stuck in the middle against each other. It was pretty funny, but that's like an extremely rare occasion. And if my drop rates slowed down suddenly, I'd go look at this and figure it out. But yeah, I'm going to have multiple of these anyway, so yeah, that's all the quirks and kinks of this thing, except I didn't explain under here. This room, as you can see, is also within the spawn zone, and it's just 4 high, straight under the other floor, so it gives me the maximum possible spawn area for the golems. But yeah, that's basically how this thing works. Anything left to do is build it, and if you're wondering, yes, I'm going to go with that design for making it pretty, because Sin, I was showing off this design to him, and I put my world up on a server so he could jump in and have a look. And then he said he wanted to help because he wants to farm iron too. And he ended up doing a whole bunch of the prettying up while I was finalising the redstone. So he had lava here behind some glass. I suggested the stairs, and this was all stone brick to begin with, and then it didn't look right with the stairs, so we changed it to nether brick, and yeah, we ended up with this. It's pretty cool. It's got little storage areas, so I can fill these up with iron, and yeah. And then it's just got fake buttons at the back. We were considering hooking this up so this portal turns on and off, but I don't like turning portals on and off. I'd rather just leave them on. And when you're this far away from it, you're outside of sound range of that, so it's no issue. But yeah, this episode is not really a normal Let's Play. It's like half tutorial too, so I've just explained all of this to you. And now I'm going to go build it in survival. So I'll speed up most of it, but I'll explain key details and stuff to you as I go along for like how to build this and in what order you should do it in for survival. As if you don't follow a certain order, you could stuff it up a little, but not very much. Yeah, probably not at all, really. Because I've done this in a pretty user-friendly way that the doors you have here will give you enough villagers to spawn the golems. So not a lot of farms, iron farms do that. Most of them just have minimum amount of doors, so you get 21 and you allow golems to spawn, and then you have to infinite breed the villagers to get enough numbers. But yeah, they spawn at a reasonable rate. Reasonable when you have lots of these, not just one. So yeah, I'll head over to the server and start building this thing. See you there. Okay, welcome to the site of my future iron golem farm. As you can see here, in these furnaces, I am smelting a whole bunch of smooth stone. Already got a double chest full of stone bricks, and then started on this one. And then in here I've got some more cobble, some other stuff. Bunch of redstone. Basically all the iron I currently have, because if I need any more pistons or whatever. And then some other stuff, coal for furnaces. Yeah, might be wondering what this thing is. It is a smooth stone generator. So when I run out of cobblestone, I can hit this. And look how fast that goes. So I've been standing here, I've used up a whole Silk Touch pick with efficiency 4 already, and just standing here doing this. So this thing works pretty bloody well. It's got four smooth stone generators in it. Yeah, I won't explain anything more about it. I'll leave a link to the guy who came up with it. His channel is Stephen AU, so I think he's Australian. And he hasn't posted any videos in a while, but I've been subscribed to him, so you should definitely check him out. He does some pretty awesome stuff. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So I'll cut back to when I've got a bit of a foundation going. Yeah, see you in a second. Okay, so I have built the top section in the middle now. And as you can see, I'm going out in all 4 directions, and I'll do multiple villages going vertically as well. If we drop down here, this is 5 blocks high from the base, so just remember that if you want to build this. So I'll replace these blocks with what they're meant to be later. Those were glass before. And yeah, what I'm going to do is I'll build this one out and I'll show you in steps me building that. I'll either speed through the rest or I'll just cut to it. Depends on how long the video is going. I noticed that I was already like 16.5 minutes on the creative world part, so try and keep the rest fairly short. But I'm doing that one out there first because my village is over that way, just across the land and into the desert there. And I want to do the rail track for the longest part first, because then I've got it established and I don't have to try and extend it later. I just shorten it. Yeah, well actually that might be the first. It's kind of between those two, it's going to be further away. And I think there's mobs under here. There must be some kind of a cave, so I'll have to go and light that up. Just so I don't get annoying mob noises when I'm here. But yeah, don't worry about that village being out there. It's more than 32 blocks away from where these will be. And 32 blocks is the limit of each village in a radius from its centre. So yeah, I'll build this one out and start building the thing. And yeah, I'll show you what that's like. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but this is the floor of that under section. So this is the bottom level, and then I need to have the walls here go up 4 high to the next level because iron golems need a 2x2x4 area to spawn, even though they're only 3 high. So yeah, time to build the walls. You need more blocks. Okay, and so with that, I now have a 4 high wall. So I can put the water along here, and it will push them into the middle. So next thing I need is essentially a roof on this, which would be another block on top of this, and that'll become the floor for the section above. So let's do that one. Okay, so that's that done. Should have even left a hole here, but oh, I found it. All good. So that flows straight through to there, and if I have done my calculations right, if I stick a bucket of water, there, it's just going to flow off the edge. But if I do this, there we go. Then it should flow down. Ooh, that's no good. Probably should have tested this before, but so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I wonder if I've done that on every side then. Let's test it out. No, just go off. Oh, put a line of blocks here. That goes right to the edge. Arrgh, that's annoying. So I've made this slightly too wide. I'd already done the spot where the wall should be when I was doing more floor and then added on. Oops. That's not good, so yeah, these all look like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here it's a square. Okay, well... Oh no, this is... because this is the wall. Ah, I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's correct. If I test it on this one... there we go. Yeah, that one's fine. I'm an idiot. I got myself confused then. That is meant to be the wall. That's where the doors sit. Alright, it's correct dimensions. I don't have to pull down a bunch of this and rebuild it. All good. False alarm. So, next stage of this is building the spots where the doors go. So, first door will be on this block. So, if I count, so yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which means this one here is in the middle, but now I've got 8 on that side, and these ones should be 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is perfect. So now the way I'm doing this is 2 rows of doors. I think I sort of mentioned that earlier, not very clearly, but mentioned how many I've got. And then I'm doing a back wall. Back wall's not necessary because the doors are valid, as all of everything on that side in the account will be blocked, and then on this side it's not, so they'll be valid with their, the 5 blocks out in each direction thing. Yeah, so I'll keep building this and see you in a second. Looks like I actually did build this out too far in one direction. So that way it needs to be reduced by a block. I just noticed when I was doing that section accounting for the doors. So guess that I will address that. Okay, so I've shortened this by 1. I'll show you. Now it goes to there. So all I did was layer the inside with another wall, then go and knock out the outside wall. So yeah, it wasn't too difficult. And now I can get back to what I was doing before. Okay, so you can see I've got the basic sections lined out. So these pillar sections I'm standing on are the divider section between the lots of doors, and those, as I mentioned before, are to limit how many doors the zombies can break. So I have 2 rows of doors here, so this will be 16, plus 2 lots of 9, that'll be 18, 2 lots of 9, 18, 2 lots of 8. So this goes around like that. If I show you, this is correct. See? So that's all good. And it's doing that thing. There we go, stupid SMP. It's good from this side. And it's good from this side. There you go. So yeah, what is next is to, it's kind of arbitrary what I do from here. If you would, actually no, I'll build the sides. It is sort of arbitrary. I'll build the little villager enclosures. But yeah, it's sort of arbitrary because, as I keep mentioning, because in some of these farms, people have to use infinite breeding in order to get numbers up. But with mine, like I said, the amount of doors here are enough to breed them up to full numbers. So you have that luxury. And if you really feel like it, and you want to increase it above the 2 golems in the spawn cap, then what you do here is you go ahead, build the villager casing bits, and then you place a door underneath their cell. So say their cell was too high like this. Okay, so say the cell was up there, and then that's the floor. So what you do is you place a door, so to be sitting on that block. So the door would be too high, like too high there, and then because they can't reach that, and actually no, it needs to be 1 further. I'm terrible at this. It's the breeding lich, so that's the floor there. Okay, nice and high. Then you place a door here. So then that would be the block below their floor. You place the door there, and because they can't get to it and the height's low enough, it causes the infinite breeding glitch. It's the issue I had with my underground village. So yeah, it's just, I don't know exactly why it does that. It's meant to only do it with villagers being out of range and stuff, but that does it too. So, oh, creepers. Lots of creepers. Holy crap, I'm sleeping. Sleep, 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 sleep. So yeah, there's not that much more to do now. I've got the general structure laid out, but I'll go ahead and finish it off. Okay, so now, before I finish roofing this and stick doors in, I'm going to go ahead and put some lamps in the floor here, so just run and go grab the materials for that. Okay, so there's the first lamp. Now I'll go ahead with the rest. Okay, so those lamps should now be on. Yep. So they'll provide enough light under the doors that mobs won't be able to spawn on the doors themselves. That again. But if you noticed, I just dropped all my lamps on the floor, so hopefully there's no mobs under this time. Sweet. It's 1 creeper. Oh, that was terrible. There we go. You should die. No? No death. Oh, go down now. So, what's left is to put in the doors and the little iron bars around where the village is going to be. So, yeah, she'll do that. Okay, so those of you who are keenly observant may have noticed that I screwed up on the doors, hence me saying bugger. Basically, you're meant to have this floor at halfway up the door, so that when this one's 4 below, the golem can still spawn on it. So yeah, screwed up there, so what I did is I just relayed the entire floor, went underneath, docked it all out, and then relayed all of the bottom one as well. And so now the bottom floor is 2 layers thick because I can't be stuffed going underneath that one and knocking it out. So yeah. Now to place the water, if I do my first one there, next one there, I get source block here. And in the corners, you need to place it up like that, because otherwise, if you kept on placing these all through like that, it would end up chaining and the entire thing would just become source blocks. I did that the first time I was putting it down in my Let's Play, which was annoying. In my creative world, I mean. And yeah, it was in creative, so it was kind of easier to deal with than it would be in survival, but it was still a pain in the ass. So yeah, just be careful when you're getting that close to corners if you're doing this. And that one. There we go. Okay, so now you can see the water pattern, they're all pushing towards the middle smoothly, which is exactly what you want. And I've just got to go do the same thing 1 floor down. All that's left now is to put the villagers in. I still haven't put the iron bars. I'm making this sort of like a prison for them. They've been sentenced to iron farming because they are having crimes of giving me crummy trades. And all their offspring are sentenced to the same thing. I'm pretty cruel. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lay out on the mine track, bring some villagers over. I'll try and put half on this side and half on the other side, but it doesn't matter as long as there's some in each. And yeah, so I'll show you when that's done. Okay, so I got some villagers in here, and they've already started breeding, which is excellent. Means that they're happy with this place, and that it doesn't only work in creative or some random BS like that. So, seal them in. And yeah, this is my railguard system. Ended up, I ran out of dirt, so I just used whatever. And there's Skype. That'll probably be sin. Sorry, I'm just logged in a second ago. Hang on, I'll just mute Skype. Okay, so that's muted, so the other rail track comes over here. I actually ran out of rail. That's more of this. I just started using powered rail as normal rail. I wonder if I can stretch that far or not. Otherwise I can always just rig another little thing to get them in there. Yeah, some rail would have gone down. Let's go look for it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that should become a working iron golem farm soon enough, and I just need to rig up the redstone here to do a crusher system and that kind of jazz. So yeah, I think that will be more than enough for this episode, because I've gone nuts recording. It's been so much. I'm guessing I would have cut most of it instead of doing speed ups because there's just so much footage on this. And most of it's boring, just me building, so yeah. This is my iron farm. It will be working shortly. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.